we happen to think a lot alike about a lot of things. And I think what you're going to find out in this conversation, we're going to talk about things, all this misogyny stuff, there's a lot of allegations out there, but people, you need to remember something. Allegations are just that. Until there's proof, until something happens, until there's a conviction, and even then, it may not be right. We live in a world today where unfortunately, you're guilty until proven innocent. And I'm sorry, but I don't ascribe to that. I mean, I've been through it in my life, and I'm not saying that people don't deserve to have consequences.
Another grifter has thrown their hat into the ring. Michael Franzese is the newest PR stooge for the Tate brothers. Franzese is a former Mafia boss who retired from the mob and became a born-again Christian after his release from prison in 1994. He's since become a motivational speaker, author, and now podcast host. Mr. Mob Boss has made that trip to Romania to interview Andrew and Tristan Tate for his podcast. And he is making no secret about it. Michael is Team Tate all the way. Here is where Franzese fucked up. He put up this post of him and his family with the Tate brothers in their cigar lounge with a caption that said the Tates are good men and the accusations against them were fabricated by those offended by the truth. Some of us took issue with him accusing the 14 women so far of fabricating their allegations against the Tate brothers despite the abundance of evidence to the contrary. Crayons, an account on Twitter that has been prolifically reporting on the Tate brothers' case in Romania, responded to Michael letting him know that the Tates were blowing smoke up his backside, while sharing a picture of the 70,000 pages of evidence against the Tate brothers that Gadget have collected in Romania. Michael then went on a rant about his case in 1984, telling Crayons innocent until proven guilty and to stop playing God. He then went on to say he knows how the system works at times, how you can be unjustly targeted, and that based on his research and meeting the Tates, he knows they were unjustly targeted. He lastly told Crayons, after again repeating innocent until proven guilty, that he happens to know a bit more than what Crayons has been shown. So in this video, I'm going to react to some clips of Michael's interview of Andrew, while keeping in mind the context that Michael has now publicly said that he has reviewed all of the evidence we have and then some.
Okay. All right. Let me tell you what happened to you. It's the same way that guys in organized crime, same thing happens. I'll tell you what happened. Normally a crime is committed and they go out and investigate and find out who the perpetrators are, right? Yeah. When you get to be somebody like yourself, there isn't a crime. They're investigating you, trying to figure out if you did anything wrong.
Correct.
It goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
And that's what they do with guys like us.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a bad guy. Let's figure out what he did.
Yeah.
So they start investigating, surveillance, all that, until they can nail you with something. That's what happened to you. Whether you're Romania, US, or it's the same thing. When you get high profile like that, this is what they do.
100%. They do not get a crime and try and find the name. They get a name and try and find the crime.
Exactly.
And
Michael, that research of yours is off to a horrible start. The idea that this case involves the authorities selecting a powerful man and then using surveillance until they can nail him with something is just absurd. The evidence for Gadget's investigation date back to 2016, well before the Tate brothers had any real fame. The Tate's compound was initially raided in April 2022, when the US Embassy was notified of a woman from the US being held there. The Tate brothers were then arrested 8 months later, and the rest is history. This sequence of events is common knowledge and easily accessible, both in media, the indictments that Michael claims to have read, and depending on what story the brothers are telling that day, they have at times admitted to this investigation being launched after the police were notified about the American woman.
So this all began with a girl accusing us of kidnapping her, a girl we have the CCTV to prove was never kidnapped. Isn't it interesting that she's accused 7 other men of kidnapping her in her life? The damage to my reputation, to my company, to my life, I've spent time in jail, is basically incalculable because I'm an extremely high net worth individual. Billions, perhaps.
Of course, the story of her falsely accusing 7 men is absolute bullshit, But Andrew has also claimed that the raid in April 2022 was the brothers just getting swatted. So don't expect these clowns to keep their story straight.
And you see that there's a lot of countries that have completely different ethoses when it comes to justice. So the American idea and the British idea, the Western idea of justice is innocent until proven guilty. That's the basic idea of justice. In countries like Romania, it's more everyone goes to jail for a while. Everybody. If you're even remotely suspected of anything, everybody goes to jail for a while. And then we'll let you out. And then in the end, unless you've really done something, you're probably going to go home. So theirs is more scattergun. It's more, you looked in a car window? Well, you didn't break in, but you're looking in. And there was a car break-in yesterday. Tough. Jail.
It might be you.
Yeah, that's how they work. Yeah. Now,
Michael Franzese sucks at research. Come on, Michael. Are you really going to humiliate yourself by letting Andrew spew that absolute drivel without any pushback? Of course, the idea that countries like Romania don't believe in innocent until proven guilty and just arrest people at random for looking into cars is just ridiculous and moronic. As Crayons covered in this Twitter post, it states pretty clearly in the Romanian constitution that any person should be presumed innocent until found guilty by a decision of the court.
Conviction rate? 100%. What's the even point of the court? The court doesn't exist. You turn up. I did that. Yeah. Jail. Yeah. Jail. Same what happened to me. I went there and I said, TikTok, how can you human traffic someone on TikTok? TikTok doesn't even make money. Yeah. Jail. They don't care. So you either...
Okay, now we're truly off the rails. Quite possibly, Andrew's most ridiculous reoccurring lie is that the accusations against him are him helping his friends get viral on TikTok, which the police have decided is human trafficking. And Mr. Mafia Man Michael is just sitting there nodding away like a stooge, while Andrew says the police threw him in jail at random over TikTok money. Where on earth in your extensive research did you find this to be the truth, Michael? It's pretty clear at this point that you have either been lying to your fans about the amount of research you've done on this case, or you know these charges are far more serious and are deliberately covering for your boy.
So with human trafficking, what they can do is come along and get a man and his wife. Say you've human trafficked this woman because you, for financial gain, have convinced her to do something. And with me, it's the lover boy method. By being nice, not by physical coercion, not by beating. They're not even saying that. They're saying he used nice words to convince this girl to do something for financial gain.
Is that what your research showed, Michael? That DCOT is saying that Andrew used nice words to convince someone to do something for financial gain with no physical coercion or beating? You absolute clown. In case anyone watching this doesn't know, the lover boy method that Andrew refers to means trafficking someone by manipulating them with a false romantic relationship, not convincing them to do something by being nice. Not to mention, there is plenty of physical violence and threats of physical violence outlined in the evidence that we know of so far.
In fact, I would bet my life it is impossible that politicians in Romania have not sat down and go, how are we going to play this out? Because this has become a big mess.
100%.
Of course.
100%. All this backdoor stuff that goes on. You know, it's similar to Trump, one of Trump's cases. The guy's got so many between criminal and civil. I've never seen anything like it. But, you know, he sat in a civil case where he was supposedly defrauded a bank, and the bankers got on the witness stand and said, he paid us every single penny.
Yep.
He paid us faster than the loan was due,
yep.
and we would lend him money again.
Yep.
Lend him money again.
Yep.
And they actually filed a suit against the guy. He lost the case.
This one's a bit off topic, but it stuck out to me. It really emphasises how completely clueless this guy is, and how he does nothing but talk absolute garbage. Michael is referring to Donald Trump's civil case in New York. Michael describes this as Donald Trump supposedly defrauding a bank, and says that the bank said that he always paid his bills on time or even early, when in reality, Trump was found liable for overinflating his net worth to get better loan terms from banks. For example, he fraudulently claimed in his financial records that his apartments in Trump Tower were 3 times the size than they really are, to inflate his net worth and get better loan terms from banks. So what Michael is saying is that Trump isn't guilty of overinflating his assets to get really small loan repayments because the bank said that he paid those small loan repayments on time. The guy is an absolute fool.
Believe. If they can make you feel emotions with a short edited clip, well then you are the enemy of freedom. You are the exact type of people they want so they can play clips on the news, you get angry, and do whatever they tell you to do. You're the worst person in the world. And another thing that people just lack so much brain, if they were to come to me and say, Michael's got a new case, he's back on the streets, crime boss, they put it all over the news and tell you your past and you're a crime boss, and they say, look, here's an indictment. I'm gonna say, so wait, the police wrote this and the media wrote that. So I don't care about any of it. It's all a lie. It's all a scam because it's a one-sided story. People are going to be full-grown adults and not understand that one-sided stories always end one way. You can't ask the media or the police anything about anybody.
Of course, we are not relying on the media or the police for our opinions about Andrew Tate's guilt. Much of the evidence that we reference comes directly from Andrew and Tristan themselves. There's countless video confessions online, including leaks from the webcam section of Andrew's PhD course, where he was literally teaching other young men how to perform textbook human trafficking in a paid course. Much of the evidence also are text messages and voice notes pulled directly from Andrew, Tristan, Luana and Georgiana's devices, which are just incredibly damning. Do we think Mafia Michael is going to bring this up in this interview? Of course not. He's going to be a good little bitch for the Tates.
And people being obsessed and self-obsessed. This is why they push certain things they push. This is the reason why they try and convince the whole population they're depressed. Depression is a low energy state. You're not going to go to revolution if you're depressed. If you're depressed, you're obsessed only with how you feel. You're self-obsessed now. You're a depressed person. You don't want to go outside. You don't want to do anything. You don't care about the world. Right. You only care about you. You're worshiping Satan if you're going to sit there depressed. I don't care if I'm depressed. I have things to do, and I am not going to allow people I care about to be at detriment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm a full-grown man. I have things to do. So they're trying to push all of this, and it is demonic and it's satanic. And once you go down this rabbit hole, it's amazing. You can start.
What a note to end on. A self-confessed human trafficker telling us that if you are depressed, you are demonic and satanic. Two absolute morons in a room talking complete garbage for 2 hours. Michael really has lowered himself to the absolute bottom of the barrel, filthy, moldy, scummiest corner of the internet. He has joined the likes of Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and Patrick Bet-David on the list of disgusting internet degenerates who will perform PR campaigns for Andrew Tate and attack women just for some short-term financial gain. It's important to point out the blatant hypocrisy of Michael Franzese, as he so smugly told us that he knows so much more about this case than us. He was so happy up on his high horse, telling us that we are too quick to judge, as he kept repeating how strongly he believes in innocent until proven guilty. Well, Michael, out of the 14 alleged victims of human trafficking, rape and assaults of Andrew and Tristan Tate, only the 2 women that are still under the control of the Tates claim they are not victims. What this means is that before we have had the evidence presented in a trial, you are telling 12 women that they are liars. Why don't they get the benefit of innocent until proven guilty before you attack and slander them in this way, Michael? It's pretty clear that you have nothing. No original thoughts, no real opinions, just keep crying about cancel culture as you host some more seminars in gyms.
All right, so there you have it. Like I said, Andrew is never in a loss for words, and I hope you really listen to what he has to say. I mean, he makes so much sense about so many things. When you talk about manhood, what is Andrew doing? He's teaching men how to be men.
Is this your PhD program?
PhD program, that's right.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
So yeah, on CobraTate.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree that I'm
clever.
And
Clever.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about.
And how often have I said this? You know, there's a thought process out there now, you know, especially in America, that if you're teaching men to be men, that it's demeaning to women. And it's just the opposite.
You're effectively taking girls, teaching them how to make unlimited money from home, and then making sure they give it all to you.
If you're teaching men how to be men, you're teaching them how to be providers. You're teaching them how to be protectors. You're teaching them how to be husbands. You're teaching them how to raise their children the right way.
You need webcam and you need MacBooks. You need a girl who's prepared to work with some pussy and titties.
You're actually benefiting women. You're not demeaning women in any way, and Andrew doesn't do that. Listen to what he had to say.
Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money and give you the money.
Okay, without forming opinions or listening to somebody else or those people out there that feel threatened when men are men. That's not the right way to exist in this world. We need men to be men. We need women to be women. They're equal in many ways. They just have different roles. That's just the way it is.
Tax is also another important element for controlling your woman. You're not going to pay anybody tax because you're getting paid in Bitcoin. But you need to tell your girl that you're paying the tax, because girls are lazy. Girls are stupid, and girls don't understand how taxes work.
And Andrew has said nothing wrong in this conversation. As a matter of fact, I agree with everything that he said. We talk about a lot of different things. We talk about government. He's been through the system. So have I.
The girl you start with is going to be your bottom bitch. Your bottom bitch is the girl who collects the money from all the other girls and brings you the money.
And this whole conversation, I think, leads to that. Men being men, people doing the right thing in life, standing up for themselves. There's nothing wrong with any of this, people.
It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking over. So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards and plugged a new one in from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just pure, just famoosers, just laughing and doing this, their titties out. And they were talking to fucking ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it. If they'd come and say, well, what kind of, bro, all of it. We were fucking milking them dry. Women haven't got a clue how to famoose a dude. They don't have, because they rely on their looks. They don't have any of the intellect. They have no game, nothing. There's nothing.
It's the right way to be taught. And forget all this misogynist. You're not a misogynist if you're trying to do the right thing and be strong in your life. That's not misogyny.
Nah. You get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar, he will fuck a guy up. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all. So like, and it's basic shit, right? You'd have a guy.
You feel bad or no?
Fuck no. To give a solitary fuck.
You know, they throw that word around now like it's candy. That's it for today, my friends. How do I always leave you? Same way. Be safe.